All right. Thank you guys for coming. People will probably show up a little bit later as I'm recording this, so they can go back and watch this. But thank you for coming. I just wanted to jump on since it is Money March and talk about some manifestation techniques, some things you can do to keep your money flowing. Nothing that I haven't said before, and it's not rocket science, but I just wanted to give everybody a little pep talk to get your coin moving, especially since we got another stimmy on the way, okay? Uncle Joe has sent the 1,400 down the pipe, okay? It's on the way. Your check is on the way. So, we want you to continue that that money flow, that cash flow. Keep it going, use it wisely, because keep in mind it is to help stimulate the economy. So we want to be sure that you're using your money wisely, that you're doing what you need to do to save, but you're also in the mindset of being able to save and make great financial decisions, because when we don't, what happens is our money flow slows down or it stops. We block ourselves from making the money. So what happens? How does it work? So when we're manifesting money, the first thing you have to remember is that you're abundant, okay? You are provided for. Everything you need will be given to you. The moment that you feel like you don't have enough, you send a signal saying that, I don't have enough. I'm holding on to things, because you start holding on to money. You're hoarding your money. You're sending a signal that you actually doing the opposite, right? Because you're holding on. So that slows your money up, that stops your money, that blocks your money. The universe understands empty space. It is in the business of replacing. Keep in mind, they call money currency for a reason. Currents do what? Electrical currents, water currents do what? Constantly move. It's constantly flowing. It's in the cycle, it's in the circle. So if that is the case, money, aka currency, does the same thing. It is a constant flow and it's constantly moving. The moment you stop and hoard money is the moment that your money stops coming to you. Okay, it stops flowing. So how do you keep your money flowing? Well, first things first, get in the mind frame of saying, I'm never without. I am provided for. I am a magnet for money. Changing how you see money and changing how you think about money. Okay. Don't be so scared to use your money. Don't be. You have it, you save a portion, you use a portion, you give a portion. Okay. Save it, use it, give it. All right. The other thing is making sure you're not speaking in such a way that blocks your money. When you say I don't have enough, when you say things like I'm broke, I don't got it, I'm poor, that costs too much, things like that, you block your money, because you're saying that you're not being provided for. You're telling the universe, you're not providing for me. You're not going to provide for me. You've already lost faith in what your spirits can do for you when it comes to providing for you. You have everything you need, and what you need and what you desire and what you are supposed to have will never pass you by. It will always come to you quickly, easily, and effortlessly. There's your affirmation. Everything that I want and everything I desire comes to me quickly, easily, and effortlessly. Okay. The other thing I always preach about giving, 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 give, give, give. Well, you have to give from your overflow. Okay. Money doesn't always mean giving your actual money. Okay. Giving money. It does not always mean giving your money. It can also mean giving of things that you have an abundance of. Okay. Time is money, right? Your time is an exchange for money. That is why you get a paycheck when you carry your ass to work, because your time is your money. So if time is money and you have an abundance of time, use your time. Give up your time to people. You don't always have to give your money. You can give up your time, your efforts, your gifts. That still equates to money. You get a job because you know how to do something. Okay? That is a gift to you because I know how to do this. You can pay me to do this. Mm-hmm. So you have an abundance of talent and gifts. So you're not giving from your main cup, you're giving from your overflow. So even if you don't have an abundance of cash or tangible currency, you still have an abundance of gifts and talents, an abundance of time. You have 24 hours in a day. Mm-hmm. Use it wisely. Okay. So when you're using these things, you're constantly giving of your time, of your efforts. Things will fall into place because it comes back to you full circle in the form of cash flow or other gifts. So you don't block yourself by doing that. You don't block yourself by holding on and hoarding your gifts. You don't block yourself by holding on to your money because you can't always give. Also, be a cheerful giver. Okay? When you give with a grudge, giving with a grudge also says, I'm holding on to my shit. I really don't want to give it to you. If you don't want to give it, practice boundaries and tell motherfuckers, no, I'm not giving you this. No, it's mine. I'm not giving you this. Give without a grudge. Be a joyful giver, right? So if you're going to do something for somebody, don't expect anything in return, right? You're supposed to be joyful. If you're going to do it with the right attitude. Do it with the right intentions. Not with the intention of, oh, I'm just doing this. So a lot of people are doing things with the intention of having something on reserve when they finish, right? So, all right, it's almost like you putting money in the bank because I'm going to do this favor for you. And if I do this for you, then I know whenever I need you, you're going to do it for me. I can call in a favor. You can't always give with that intention in the back of your head. Okay. Some things you can give in exchange, but other times, sometimes you just have to freely give. Simple. Just do it just because this person needs it and you have the ability to do it. Now, whenever I do rituals for people or money work or anything like that, and I write petitions, I always say that money comes to me quickly, easily, and effortlessly at no detriment to me or anyone else. Meaning, I won't get hurt, the other person won't get hurt, whether it's physically hurt, mentally, spiritually, financially hurt, because the money came to me that way. I also ask for money in the form of resources and support and help. Why? Because, you have to pay for some things, right? You have to pay. So say, for an example, you're trying to start a business. You don't know how to build a website. So you have to pay or find someone to build a website for you, right? But guess what? Your good friend over here, she went to school to learn how to build websites. She is now a resource. she can save you money because now she's a resource to help you build your website and save you money. Now, that will be in exchange of her gifts and talents and her time if she decided to do that for you. So when you're writing your petition, when you're doing any kind of work or praying or whatever, you ask that you receive help also in the form of resources and gifts. It does not always have to be money. It can be gifts. It can be discounts. That's how you keep your money flowing. The money stays with you. Paper money, tangible money can stay with you because you have the ability to use additional resources. Also, I asked for an expansion in my territory and in my network. What does that mean? An expansion of my territory, an expansion of my network, meaning I meet other people who will support my cause, who can help me with my cause. Why? Because the more people I know, the bigger my network, the easier it is to expand my business, the easier it is to call in favors or have people that know how to do things that can help me save money. So you have to understand how you're doing these things. You have to understand how your money comes to you. It does not always come in the form of cash. It comes in other forms as well. Gifts, people giving things to you. One way of stopping your money is turn down something. Somebody is trying to offer you a gift. Oh, let me go ahead and just pay for your coffee. You're like, oh, no, thank you, but I got it. You just denied yourself more money. Learn how to accept things. A lot of us have a problem with accepting gifts, accepting favors, because a lot of times we sometimes think that, strings are attached to this. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're in a situation where strings really aren't attached at all. At all. The other thing that you have to do to keep your money flowing is, like I said, give without other people knowing. Okay? A lot of the times you hear of these foundations receiving these huge donations, but don't know who the donor is. The donor wants to stay anonymous. You don't always have to announce a good deed that you've done. The best deeds and the best gifts are received and given in silence. You don't have to let people know that you've received a gift. And you don't have to let people know that you've given somebody a gift or gave or did something for somebody. That's where we fuck up now as a society, is that we'll go out, we'll do a community service project, and what's the first thing we do? Take pictures.
Picture.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to do that. You don't have to take pictures of everything that, did they leave? Oh, there it is. Everything that you do. You don't have to take pictures of everything that you do for somebody. That doesn't have to happen. You can easily give or do, and no one ever has to know. I was in a shoe store one time buying some sandals. It was a girl in there graduating from high school. Her mom didn't have much money. And I'm sitting there, I'm listening to the conversation, and she's like, well, I don't know which one I like. I like them both. And her mom was like, well, you can only get one pair. I said, go ahead and get two pairs. Get them both. Went up there, paid for the shoes, didn't blink, went back to trying to find me some shoes. And the girl was in tears. I didn't do it simply because I'm trying to support this woman, this girl. I'm trying to help her because that's an achievement. That's the other thing. Recognize when somebody needs help. Okay? Recognize when somebody needs your help. And step in if you can. I did it off the strength that she was a young girl. She's graduating from high school. I've been in a situation like that where my parents didn't have the money to get me what I want. I wanted to look good, but my parents didn't have it. So I didn't worry about it. But I wasn't going to see if I had the ability to help somebody else. Why not? How is that hurting me? It comes back to you tenfold. So understand how giving works. It is a cycle. They call it currency for a reason. Your money comes to you. And even if you do something, you do it without expectation. That's where we fail, is because we do things for people and then we expect something back right away. We're expecting a return because we act like this is actually an investment. So her favorite word, what is the ROI, return on investment? That's Nadia's thing. We're going to talk about that. But it doesn't always have to be that way. Sometimes the best gifts are just simply being able to do for somebody and bring joy to somebody else's life. That's the simplest thing you can do. And just be happy that you have the resources to do it. Universe loves a cheerful giver. That's why when you write your petitions, say how it makes you feel. Say how you having this money is going to allow you to help other people besides yourself. That all goes into your petition. You ask for help, but you realize that your purpose here, you have a purpose here too. Don't always be so self-serving. Just know that it needs to come full circle. You still have a purpose to fulfill. So you have to help somebody. And somebody will help you. Your help comes from all different sources in all different ways, and you never know where your help is coming from, ever. Have the right attitude when you give. Understand that you're giving from your overflow and not from your main cup. Even if you do give from your main cup, you don't give to the point where you're depleted. Okay? You can't give to the point that you're depleted. Yes, you're trusting in the universe that is going to provide more, but understand that you've been given provision just like that other person's been given provision. So if you have a friend that constantly needs shit and you're constantly the one providing shit, and that friend can go out and live their fucking best life. Meanwhile, you're scrambling over here, but your friend don't have two fucks to give because she knows if she asks you, you're going to give it to her. And you giving from your main cup. Yeah. Don't. Because some people just don't know. That's the other thing, is having discernment about what you give to, who you give to. Am I to help this person? Everybody knows not to get a crackheads, right? Everybody knows not to give crackheads money. Everybody know that. They say, oh, I need some money to buy something to eat. What do we go do? We don't hand them the money. We go buy their ass something to eat. Come with me. What you want to eat? I'll be right back. Stand right here. You don't give them money. Know when and who to help. These are all tips that help your money continue to flow. But discernment is always number one. Okay? Discernment, being a cheerful giver, Understand that you're being provided for. Understanding that you are giving from your overflow and not your main. Knowing that everything's going to come back to you from other sources and not just one way. That's how you keep your money going. Thursdays are always a good day, which is why I chose today to do this, live session. I'm so sad that I couldn't do it on YouTube. I couldn't figure out how to stream live on YouTube, so I guess people aren't coming here, but it's fine. It's okay. The people that are supposed to be here
are here.
So when I record this, and if it records and makes it to the tube,
it will.
If it doesn't, shout out to Water Top. Don't know what else to tell you. Lo siento. I know that little bit of Spanish. Delicioso. So now let's talk a little bit about what to do with your money. How much do you actually need to put aside and save and use for yourself, right? So whenever you're doing your work, money work, or manifest the money, you ask for what you need and more, right? So you take what you need and you also include in what you need to put inside for hard times. There we go. Come on in the house, Sharon. You also put aside what you need, right? So you include what you're asking for, and you include a little bit for later, and you include enough to help somebody else. That's how you ask for your money. That's how you ask and manifest your money. You ask enough for yourself. You ask for provision for yourself. Some to have, I always say, bless me with enough money to do whatever I need to do with this project or whatever, if I'm asking for something specific for a specific project, but enough for me, my children, and their children, so generational wealth, and to be able to help other people that I'm able to give from my overflow. So you ask for generational wealth. So that money follows you and trickles down from you to your kids and your kids' kids. That's how you ask. It's never, and that's when you ask that way, you're asking for enough that allows you to save and put away, that you can create avenues for your children and your children's children. So if you're asking for money so you can buy a house, that is being able to be passed along to my children and my children's children. That's how you ask. Never ask for just enough to get you through, but you always ask for generational wealth that goes beyond you. The other thing that you can ask is for you to receive what your ancestors never received. Ask for what is owed to your ancestors. So if your family was supposed to receive money, or say for instance, your family members, some of your family members passed away knowing that they were owed money from somebody else, ask for that shit back too. I want it all, bitch. Give me all of it. If you owe my grandma $1, you better give me her money. You understand? Ask for it all. Don't be shy in asking for what is owed to your ancestors. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Your ancestors can be owed land. All of a sudden, you got a house bigger than what you expected. Why? For a really, really low price, really good price. Why? Because your ancestors may have owned land and somebody took it and it was owed to them. Somebody could have paid, for something and somebody got over and it's coming back. So they may not have seen it in their lifetime, but you're asking for it in your lifetime so you can continue to pass it down. This is how you manifest money. Be smart about it. Think outside of the box. You have plenty of tools, but the biggest tool is being in the right mindset, being able to vocally ask for what you need and what you want and you desire, and not being afraid to do it, and understanding that regardless of how much it is, more is coming right behind it. So never freak out because you don't have enough. You asked for a way to be made to you for you to get what you need, and it's happening. You just don't see it. Just know that it's coming. Wait for it. Everything doesn't come in the time that you want it to come. I think everybody knows that by now, but it's coming. So the other thing is stop holding on. I don't know if I said that. Did I mute myself?
No, you didn't mute yourself.
Okay. Stop holding on to things. Holding on, thinking that, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I don't want to spend this because I ain't going to have it next month. Okay. You just told them what you're not going to have. Do what you need to do. If it's something that you need, not something that you want. Need, there's a difference. Needs and wants. If it's something that you need and you have it right then to buy what you need, get it, and everything else will fall into place. But you can't be scared and fearful that what you will need later is not going to come to you. Get it. Oh, I need to get gas in my car, but I have just enough to pay rent next week. Guess what? Pinch that rent money and get your gas because you have to get to work. And watch how quickly that money will be replaced. See, they took away the old things that we used to do, like float checks and shit. Remember how your ass to float a check? You'll write a check and know that they got a week to cash that bitch before you can get the money in there. So you get that money way before they cash that check. Well, you know what? I'm going to just go to the grocery store, write this check, get my little groceries, and, float this check and pray it don't bounce before they cash it. You knew how many days it took because you narrowed it down to what grocery store you would go and write this check at. Well, if I go to Walmart take about 4 days to cash their checks. If I go to Kroger take about 5. I get paid Friday, so I'm gonna just go to Walmart and float this check. Yeah, I used to do it all the time when I was in college. Shit, I was a broke college student. We had to. I didn't know at the time that you could get food stamps as a college student. I didn't know, but now I know. I ain't in college no more, but you know what I'm saying? So we would float those checks. And they took away all of that when they gave us these goddamn debit cards and this electronic checking. So now, bitch, you write a check, they taking the money right then, so you can't do that no more. But writing a check, you had faith in God that they weren't going to cash this check the next day and that you had time enough to get that money in the bank before it got cashed and bounced. Okay? Because they used to put your name on a list in certain grocery stores where you can't write a check in those stores no more. You be in the check system. Can't write a check. They ain't accepting your check. So you did things like that. Oh, another technique. Well, I haven't really talked about tech. Well, I did a little bit. But A technique for abundance is an abundance check. You can write yourself a check. Burn it, take the ashes, put it in your candle work, put it in your jars, your bath, or whatever. Write a check that way. I promise. Burning money and making offerings to your ancestors is another way. Saying that I trust that you will provide for me at all times. That's what it signals. That's what it signifies. A thank you in advance. Excuse me. So understanding these things, you can keep your money going, keep your money flowing. Anybody got questions? Y'all so quiet.
I'm just letting you talk for right now.
Y'all good? Ladies, y'all all right? All right. Yeah. So that was my little spiel on manifestation and manifesting your money. It's not a hard thing to do to keep your money flowing. You just have to be in the right mindset. Mm-hmm. Speak over your life. Mm-hmm. Speak over your money. If you're carrying money in your wallet, I even put a little money sigil on all of my cards to make sure that my money comes back to me. I put money sigils on my cash. And I also write on my cash, this comes back to me 100-fold, 200-fold, 1,000-fold, 100,000-fold, however much. It's going to come back to me. Write on it. It's just paper. Mm-hmm. Paper is what a promise. So understand that your money is going to come back to you. You just have to be in the right mind frame. Having affirmations, positive affirmations. I've been doing like watching different videos and stuff, and what they're saying is, and I haven't tried this, well, I tried it this morning for the first time. Mm-hmm. I just went down a rabbit hole of TikTok videos, and they were saying how water has memory. So when you speak into your water, your water holds those words, and you drink your water, and that's what goes into you subconsciously. So you speak your affirmations into your water, your bottled water. I done drink mine for the day. But you speak your affirmations in your rich bitch juice, if you want to call it that. You can write on your water what it is, and you speak your affirmations in it, because water is to hold memory. It has a memory. It can transfer what you've spoken into it, into you, which you should feed your body water anyway. So make sure you're drinking plenty of water and speaking to your water. It's the same thing almost saying when you say grace over your food. Oh, Chrissy says she's going to try it. It's the same thing when you're saying grace over your food. You're telling your food to what? Nourish your body. Heal your body. Right? So I'm understanding that it's going to do the same thing as water. I'll put the chat over here so everybody can see. Yeah. So understand that. Speak to your water. Speak life into the things that you want around you, the things that you put into your body. And when I say speak life into the things that you want around you, your friends too. Speak life into your friends. Speak life into your circle. Because sometimes you have friends that go and they have those dark days, and they want to come and talk that shit at you, and you're like, bitch, I'm having a really good day today, so I need for you to switch your energy because I don't want to take it on. So what do? Speak life into them. You know what? Everything's going to work out just fine. Everything's going to work. You have more than enough. You have the support that you need. Speak life into them, because you know what? Everybody has a tough day. But if that's somebody that rolls in your circle, and this is a person that you talk to on a daily basis, do you really need that around you? Start checking your circle. You need people that speak life, that you speak life into, and they speak life back into you. The other thing is visualization. Okay. Visualization techniques, vision boards. Yes. A lot of people are doing Pinterest versions of vision boards because they put it on their phone and they can access it easily on their phones, right? That's something they look at all the time, all day. Having a actual printed version, a tangible version of the vision board in your room or somewhere that you look at, your refrigerator, that helps. So visualization techniques, visualizing what it is that you want and what it is that you see. You start to create that energy subconsciously so you can move and you move toward it. So visualization techniques, speaking life, putting it in the atmosphere, but also taking steps to go and get it. So if you say, okay, I want a house, well, what kind of house you want? Visualize where you want your house, what it looks like, what's in it, how much you pay for it. You already know those things, right? What neighborhood you want to look in. Then you go and create the energy around that. So how do you do that? Well, go scope out the neighborhood. Start looking in the neighborhood. Look up schools if you have kids. Find out what schools are in the neighborhood. Start talking to people that you might see, outside. Go to the open houses in those neighborhoods. Meet the neighbors. It's a little creepy, sometimes, but you can ask people, what do you think about this neighborhood? I was looking, people see you driving past and looking at a house that maybe has a for sale sign, and you see somebody outside, ask them if they know anything. Well, how's the neighborhood? Well, what do you think about it? I'm thinking about buying this house. What are you thinking about it? Put the energy out there. And if you really want a specific house, print that. You go online, find the picture of the house, print it, print out the house, print out the realtor's contact information, do whatever research you need to do, and get to moving. Put it in your, fold it up 3 times. This is my house. You can put it in a jar and do a sweetening jar on it, or you can fold it, put it in your right shoe. Well, the name of the person who's selling the house, the realtor, whoever, put it in your right shoe, fold it up, put it down in there. You said I did a Pinterest vision board for my wedding and a physical vision board for your house. Yes. Even brought the dog with me on one time. She peed in the yard, but it was already on contract by the time we got home. Yeah, but here's the thing. You visualize it. You already know what you want your house to look like on the inside. You want new furniture? Buy the furniture. Let me tell y'all something. So I moved to this apartment that I'm in now in October, right? This wasn't my first choice for an apartment, but I was just like at the point where I just needed to go because I knew I was having surgery in a few weeks. And I wouldn't be able to really do anything, move around for at least 4 weeks. And knowing that, I was like, I gotta hurry up and move. So I was looking at a few apartments. I kept seeing this apartment come up. And every apartment that I was trying to apply to, people had already, had it. It was already rented. So I was irritated and I was like, God damn it. I don't know what to do because, time is flying at this point and I need to move. I have to get out because I have to have surgery and I ain't gonna be able to move nothing. So I applied for this apartment. I looked at it. I was like, oh, that's all right. It's not too far from work, which was something that I had petitioned for. That is not too far from work. Something that I can afford, something that's in a good neighborhood. I'm okay with that. I wanted a 3-bedroom, but it was a reason why they gave me a 2. I have a thing where my family likes to just like come. 2-bedroom made it harder for them to do that because the other room has to be used for my business. That's why I keep all my stuff, all my herbs and shipping supplies and all that other stuff. That needed to be in that second room. So we're not going to give you enough space for somebody to move into. We're going to give you just enough for you to do what you need to do. So I'm just like, fine. So I'm just applying to places. And I saw this one and I came and actually saw it. And I was like, oh shit, it's a lake back here. Oh, this is nice. I didn't think it was nice because in the pictures, I was like, this shit old. But then I saw the lake. And I was like, this ain't so bad. And it's only 15 minutes from work. My commute at the time was 40 minutes. I was tired. I could never, and I live so far out from everything. I'm still late to work every day, ain't gonna lie. At least about 10, 15 minutes. I mean, that's just, I've been late for all this long ass time. You might as well keep
right now.
Why change now? Okay, I'm still 15 minutes late and I live 15 minutes away. Why change? But I had no intentions of being here. But I got what I needed. Everything is here. I can afford it. It's a quiet neighborhood. It's near my job. It's near grocery stores. It's not, it's a quiet neighborhood. My neighbors don't really bother me. Street is fine. I have ample parking for me. It's a beautiful view out the back door. Mm-hmm. And I said I wanted peace. They know water brings me peace. I have a lake in the back that I can literally walk out there and kayak if I want to, but I ain't that bold. But I have access to see this view. But the funny part was, I was like, well, I'm gonna just go buy furniture for my house. I know I gotta move, but I'm gonna go ahead and just go buy the furniture. Maybe by the time I move in, my furniture will be delivered, because it takes them forever now to deliver furniture to your house, right? Months. So I go in the store. I'm just walking around. I see the bed. I was like, oh, this is a nice bed. I got Nadia on the phone. What you think about this bed? I like this dresser. Should I get this dresser? This dresser?
You sure did. You picked out everything.
And so I go in the store and I see the sectional, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I'll go ahead and order the sectional, but they're like, it doesn't work like that. You either have to order it right or left, because it has a chase piece. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. So the chase either has to be right on the right hand or on the left hand. Well, guess what? I was like, oh, just do the left side. Not thinking. A few weeks later, I get this apartment. Mm-hmm. Walk in, the setup is just enough to fit the furniture that I bought. And guess what? It had to be a left side chase because of the way this house is shaped. So they already knew. Mm. They already knew. And I'm like one block. My cousin literally lives right behind me on the next street because I needed help. I would need help. So they know. So when things are for you, they fall right into place. And the thing was, I applied to this apartment on a Friday night at like 9:00. Mm-hmm. This man calls me on Sunday morning. Like, hey, yeah, you're our top candidate. I'm gonna finish your background check and you can move in by the 1st. Well, the 1st is on a Thursday, sir. I mean, it's next Thursday. Yeah, you can move in by next Thursday. Everything, boom, 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 just fell into place. And I didn't have any issues because this is where I was supposed to be. Everywhere else, I'm trying. I can't get. But this, everything fell into place in a matter of days. Next thing you know, the next week I'm moving. I came, bombed the house. You know, you always got to bomb the house. Cleanse the house, bless the house, and then I move my stuff in. So this was something that I manifested, but didn't even know that I was doing. I hadn't, and I honestly didn't really want to move. I was really trying to wait to move.
Yes, you were.
But I waited. So I couldn't wait no more. And I was like, I can't take it. I gotta go. So that's what happens. But I'm gonna let Nadia talk because I don't want to hold y'all too long. Um, I'm gonna let her talk about how, when you manifest this money, some things you can do with it. How do you pay your bills down? How do you get some of these discounts? Where can you find the breaks in credit card bills? How do you do all of that? So go ahead. Just, I can ask you questions, I can feed you questions, or
You can feed me questions, but yeah. One of the things though that I got from when you were talking that a lot of people don't get is how they align themselves with money. So when they align themselves with money, and then within that, it's like, oh yeah, I'm aligning myself to get this money, but what systems do you have in place to make yourself more successful for that actually to drop into your lap? So with people, I think everybody was so happy about the STEMI hitting again. But yet, what are you doing prior to that STEMI? Say for instance, the STEMI hits this weekend. What do you have in place to be able to align yourself to not necessarily blow it on crab legs and just regular stuff, but actually intercept it properly so it'll last longer than what a lot of people are. A lot of people like to blow money versus actually build with it. So whatever this $1,400 comes or not, or whenever it does come, what are you doing now to actually align it for? So to give it pockets of money. So for instance, I know a lot of people right now are so big on investing right now, and buying stock and things of that nature. Do you have a brokerage account open for that? Do you have a set amount for what you want to actually invest in? Do you have a watch list of stocks that you're looking at to see, hey, whenever it gets to my target price, this is a good buy? So say for instance, when you get that $1,400, what pockets of money are you stimulating your own strategy with finance within? So how much do you have for to invest? How much do you have to actually build your money? So to actually save your money, do you have at least I won't say a couple of months of savings at hand, just in case we have to wait if there's another stimulus? Because I don't know what's going to happen after this. And I was talking to my mom the other night, and I was like, what are we going to do after this stimulus? Because after a while, it's going to have, I'm not going to say it's going to have to pause, but it's going to be some pushback from the Republicans about, okay, we've given people all of this money, now what? So do you have a savings account, a high yield, which I would suggest, that will be good to intercept this money to save for your expenses every month? Do you actually know how much your bills are? A lot of people have this whole thing with building a budget, but what a budget is simply boundaries for your bag. That's all it is. So with ever you doing that is saying, hey, I know how much I spend on the month. This is how much I need to save for. So if you have that amount to save for, and some people's like, oh, I need to have, what's that, 3 to 6 months savings? Baby, start with what you have. If you able to get to a month savings, that's great. So you know that, say for instance, your how much your expenses are is what, let's just say 2,400. Do you have 2,400 saved? Granted, you might be in a tough pinch right now, but that 2,400 you could save towards that. So even if you don't get to it, that you are able to get that $1,200. So how are you building these systems right now? So again, I say it was stocks, saving, and then how are you scaling? So even if, say for instance, you get this 1,400 and you're secure, all your debt is paid, you have no debt at all, you're already investing, even if it's for your 401k or whatever you want to do. how can you scale that? So what can you do right now? Interest rates are hella low right now for those who are interested in buying a home. Shoot, you could be in your house now, you're secure, but what can you do now to scale it? So if you're home and you're secure, and you can get an interest rate for what, 1.2 APR or APY, sorry, within buying a mortgage or getting a mortgage. What are you doing right now with that extra 1,400? Some people can go ahead and put that down as a partial down payment within the house. So how are you sitting here and getting these systems aligned? Are you saving? Are you buying stock? Are you buying stock? Or are you making sure you're fine? And some people like to say you can't save yourself into wealth. You can save enough money to actually put towards a rental property or anything like that, something that's going to make you passive income. So it's just figuring out what are those financial goals that you have with ever you get this spending. Because some people want to buy crab legs. I'm all for crab legs. I like crab.
I have a question.
I got it.
So I get the stimulus check.
Okay.
Smart thing to do would be what? Should I use it to actually save, put
Uh-huh.
aside, or would it be smart if I took part of the money and paid off a full like credit card or full debt to lower my debt to income ratio and free up future monies that I will put toward that debt?
I would say take a portion of it and save it, and then take another portion of it and pay towards your DTI.
So that DTI is debt to income ratio.
Yes.
Okay. So if say if my credit card is $700, stimulus is $1,400. Did I take half the stimulus and pay the full credit card off, or would it be smart, especially if it has a high interest rate, or would it be smart to just make maybe pay half the credit card off and then take the rest of the stimulus and put down half, or pay towards some of my other debts?
Okay. I would actually first tell you to call your credit card company to see if they can actually lower the interest rate. The reason why is I always say this to whoever a client may have been working towards, that is to call to say, hey, I want to pay down a good portion of my credit card debt. Is there anything that you can do to lower this interest rate before I do so? This is actually saving you money. So say, for instance, if it was $700 and the interest or whatever, but by the time you end up paying it, it could actually, in the next credit card cycle, it actually can lower. I would actually advise you not to pay it all the way off unless you have a reason for doing so. Because whenever you pay something off, it's still carrying that, can I say this? If you pay something off, it's freeing up the money, but then you actually, if you want to actually have that balance on there to help it to read as good financial health. So even if you are looking at 30% paying at least 30% of it, that's still fine that you are carrying that balance. So that's what I would say.
So pay it partially.
Pay it partially.
So if you were trying to do something like purchase a home, you're trying to get under your debt to income ratio, it would make sense to pay it off in full.
It would make sense to pay it off in full.
Okay.
But still call and ask for that interest rate to be lowered.
So notes for you guys: lower your interest rate. Ask if they can lower the interest rate before you actually make a payment to them.
Yes.
Most of the time we do not call the credit card companies. We just pay whatever it is that they're asking. And you could have had the credit card for years and years and never asked them for anything. But if your credit score has increased and you already know you have a decent credit score, go ahead and ask.
I'll at least call annually to see is there anything that they can do with it towards your actual account. So yeah, I call them as well as anyone else, such as your insurance carrier, anybody like that, to say, what can you do for me right now? I make a habit of for certain things like my utilities, I call every 6 months to see what can they do right now to give me some kind of discount. Mm-hmm.
Ask. The ask. The ask.
It's
Okay.
the ask. The ask gives you alignment to your money.
Alignment.
What about your car note? You could actually refinance that every couple of years. So if you have not, if your um, credit score is fine or has gone up, I will at least call and get my car refinanced every couple of years.
What if you're close to paying your car off? Like, say you got one more year to pay it off. Is it worth getting it refinanced?
I will ask for the terms of it to be sure. If not, I'll just go ahead and pay it off. But within that, if they're gonna, if it's a zero interest rate and it's not gonna hit you, then I will go ahead and call and just see. But I think I just gave my sister this advice the other day. But for say for instance, my sister is pretty much $1,000 away from paying off her car. She's not gonna call and refinance because she has 0% interest on her car. So she just pretty much she's gonna have to tooth and nail it and pay it off because she's that close and has no interest rate. But if you have, say, for instance, a 5% and you can get it down to 2 or even 3 or 1, that's worth it.
Okay. That answer your question, Tashia?
Tashia, what's your interest rate? You talk.
You can talk. You can turn your mic on, y'all. That's another reason why I decided to do Zoom. You can turn your mic on.
Actually, like
I'm driving. I'm driving.
Oh,
So I can't text like that because I'm driving.
go ahead. What's your
No,
interest rate?
I was driving.
What's your interest rate?
What's your interest rate?
I don't know it off the top of my head, right? Right.
So have you ever refinanced it before?
No.
I would call it, see. Especially if you've been making payments, and that's the I'm all is in the words of Glenda. I'm trying to call her other name. I would I would ask, saying, hey, I've been making consistent payments, on time payments for this amount of time, and hey, I want to continue this partnership. Or you always call and refinance with your company that you have the car with to see what they can do. Because I'm gonna tell you something, they're not going to offer that to you. You're gonna have to ask for it because they're making money off of your interest rate. So within you asking for that, if they can't do it, then you find somebody else like a credit union. But if you have never refinanced your car note, why not? Especially in this panoramic, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Not the
Don't judge me. I wanted Kool-Aid.
You said something like Capri Sun the other night.
So
yeah. I would call and ask them first, and then if they can't do anything, you find you a credit union that will. Just saying, because right now, if mortgages are the finance for that is stellar, call and refinance your car. Heck, I'm about to.
Oh, okay.
So does that answer your question?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Anybody else with a question? No? Okay. Next point.
But yeah, that's what I would say is that if you're close to paying something off, then it doesn't hurt to do some research. But if you are light years away from paying something off, you get that best money that you can take from the refinance on something. So say for instance with Tanisha, I'm probably butchering her name. She has a $500 car note. I'm just saying. You got a $500 car note. You're bringing that down to $400 with your refinance. You could take that extra $100 and put that towards your credit card bill or anything like that to pay down additional debt. So refinancing, even if it's on your mortgage, is not a bad word. The finance company it's a bad word for them, but it actually helps you to position yourself to save money on the back end that you can actually put towards something else. So yeah. Let's See?
Okay. Got some notes?
Yep, because I like to spend money.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So if you spend your money, do you have a budget for spending your money? No, you
Yes, I have a budget.
don't. I can tell how
Sometimes
you do it.
sometime I do go over, but I do have a budget.
I don't.
You don't have a budget?
No, she doesn't.
No.
I don't have
Just like she doesn't have she invests. What did you buy? I forgot what did you buy, but she don't check it.
I don't know.
She don't check it. She doesn't check it. It's fine. But it's not fine that you don't check it, but whenever you have certain things such as your budget and investments, it's a good rule of thumb to at least check it monthly, especially with your budget, to know what are you spending towards. And a lot of people, when they make their budgets, it's only towards what their bills are, not what their what their lifestyle looks like. So say for instance, like you love to spend money, Tanisha, you are making your budget only towards your bills, but not towards how you spend money. So say for instance, if you go to eat out a lot, how much are you eating out every week? Times that times 4.
Oh, I don't eat out like that.
I'm just saying that's what most people's pain points are within the either eating out or impulsive spending. And I think I had one person, he ate out so much that he had to get DoorDash, the subscription service.
Who is that, Chris?
Who did? Who is this on iPhone?
About to mute you.
Oh, okay.
I done muted you, iPhone, because I didn't know what you was doing.
But yeah, it's just like taking a audit of your wallet is what I love to say often. So for you to make your budget, it takes time for you to actually sit down, have a money meeting, meet with your money, make that budget towards your lifestyle, not just what your bills are saying, and leverage it towards that. I mean, you might be in the red, if so, you're gonna have to skimp back on some things. And within that, it's all about understanding your money and making up your mind to say, I can afford the lifestyle that I wish to have.
Oh.
That goes back to the whole affirmation team. Hey, Kim.
It's iPhone. So
that's who that is. Okay.
But
yeah, it's the whole affirmation. And then when you say that affirmation and you make the alignment with, here's me looking at how much it costs to be me. This is what the price tag is. Does the bag look like that it will align with that? Yes, good. If not, what are you doing to align with it even more? So it's just in the words of what
go ahead.
What Glenda said about it being a currency, that's honestly what your budget is showing what's going in, what's coming out, and how can I actually have these pockets full of paper that fits that lifestyle. So it can be a bit eye-opening when you do look at your budget, but it's all about, okay, if I see red, how can I earn some more green? So how am I aligning with these new jobs? How much does it cost for me in the market? What does it look like for me to be who I am within the corporate America? Or even if you thugging it. Well, I mean, how much are you within it? So it's all going back to that whole thing with the whole currency, which is the whole cycle. So it's all about meeting with your money every month. Don't only just meet your money when it's time to check in, to check out whenever you buying something, or when it's time for you for a check to come in. So it's about being in sync with your money, but also knowing what your money looks like. So doing that audit of your wallet, knowing how much your bills are getting a good estimate, knowing how much it costs to be you. And then also, if you're in the red, aligning more to get green. So it's and right now I made a post the other day about the whole federal minimum wage, and Uncle Joe and them is trying to align it to be $15 over time. So what are you doing to get these skills for the bills to align with that? I know Coursera has where you can get certifications and things like that for free or for $49. So what are you aligning to if you're in the red, what are you doing to get more green? So it's not necessarily waiting for the minimum wage to go up. What are you doing now to align to that?
So I'm gonna also say, have you some side hustles, babe?
Side
Again,
hustles.
using your
Side hustles
talents.
is where
What's
it's
the
at
name
because
of the
honestly,
thing you
Hmm?
said to get the certificates?
what you
Just put it
say,
in the
Coursera?
comments. Put it in the comments.
All right.
Coursera.
Yeah. Shoot, can I spell it?
Side hustles. If you are talented or gifted or you know how to do things, or you want to do things, this is side hustle season. Okay. DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart, TaskRabbit.
Handy.
All of those are places where you can go and get your hustle on right now. If not, you can hustle whatever gifts and talents you have if you want a side business. Everybody's doing, some type of side hustle. You see mad people selling what? Shirts, bags.
Drop shipping.
Yeah, what is it? Cricket. Is it called Cricket? Cricket them made a killing off of people because everybody got a Cricket.
To the point now they got a smaller Cricket now that you can, even if you can't afford the bigger one, that you can actually use that small one. Hell, my business was a side hustle that now is what it is. And a lot of people have went from side hustle to scaling it and made money off of it. It's people who drive Uber and live for full time in certain markets.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to look at how do you know whether or not you can do something and make a business out of it. You can make there's a business for damn near everything. And if you have a skill teaching, I shared a article about how this lady made $10,000 because it's this online platform where parents, because online classes are a big thing now. Mm-hmm. Lady made $10,000 a month from an online platform where people would sign their kids up because she taught, I think it was like art lessons or graphic something, I don't know what it was, and English classes. And she made a killing, and she set what her rate was, and people signed up, and they would do reviews and stuff, and that's how other people would sign up. Shoot, if you teach, if you have the ability to tutor, now is the time, because a lot of people can't teach their goddamn kids in homeschool. They fucking failing the kids too. They doing the homework, failing right along with the goddamn kids. So if you know how to teach, this is your time to shine. Go online and teach. If you have a master's degree, you can teach online courses at the college level. That's all they really requiring, a master's degree and some experience in their field is the preference. But they have these online courses that they're teaching at college level.
And Thea, why did you say that your budget is hard because of your kids? Why is it hard?
No, she's still here.
Take yourself off mute.
So, I mean, you have to look at what you're good at. Mm-hmm. Look at what you're good at. Look at the market. What are people asking for? What are you good at? Now, if you know you're good at spray painting shit and repurposing things, go out to yard sales.
DIY
on Facebook Marketplace. Buy up some shit, repurpose it, repaint it, and resell it. Same thing with these glitch sales. So my friend Kathleen queen of the glitch. She'll go to the store, she'll find these glitch sales, go to the store, buy up all of these things that might be regular $100 and something. She'll get it for $60 something and then resell it back at the regular price or a little bit less, right on Facebook Marketplace. Side hustling.
Mhm.
Understand that you can make money in different ways. You don't always have to just have, and you should not just have one source of income anymore.
No,
This has proven.
it's a necessity now,
Yeah.
especially with how people are finding themselves unemployed and things like that. It's a necessity to have yourself at least one or two income streams.
No one should have just one income anymore because nothing is absolutely promised to you.
Mm-mm.
Nothing. So I would suggest that you get your hustle on. These gifts and talents, you might have a talent for writing. People need writers for stuff. People need writers for websites. You know,
So
so
be a writer. I mean, Harlow, help a reporter out is pretty good. I submitted something today where it was just somebody from a publication looking for certain people to answer these questions about things, and that gets your whole clickbait, not necessarily saying clickbait in a way, but gets your attraction up. So whenever you do go to these publications, you can say, I've been featured here, or here is some commentary that I've given on this topic and things like that. So it makes it easier. Because that's what I'm currently doing.
So, figure out where you can go, what you can do. Now, quickie on investing. How do you know, or what are your tips for finding the right stock?
The tips that I have right now is I told people at the beginning of this panoramic that anything that is tied to a vaccine or anything like that was going to be something to look towards when it comes to investing. And that's honestly what happened, is that Moderna as well as Pfizer became that. Lately, a lot of people have been talking about Johnson and Johnson. So just looking towards companies that are aligned to the health of people. Also, another one is looking to how people use their time and things of that nature. I love to say, consume what you consume. So if you are big, what was on the one that just went public, Robux. If you know your kids love Robux, invest them into that. And that was what, $60 some. And if you cannot get the full share, if you can get a fractional share. I'm big on fractional shares, and the reason why is that you're able to get that stock from whatever price it is, and then it's a half of a share or how much you can invest into it, and you're just building. So if you know that your budget only allows you to do but so much, that you're able to still buy into those companies. But to go back to what you were asking, is those companies to in investing, is those companies that are big on health, big on electric vehicles. Is pretty much going to be one of the biggest things, and I've been talking about that heavily. Is what was it? Electric vehicles, things that for charging those electric vehicles, making those products to actually build up electric vehicles. Another one is to look into cannabis. That's getting ready to be. Cannabis is one that's a little bit toxic, if I must say so, because everybody's like, oh, we was buying the weed stock, sorry. And then it went down and then it went back up, and it's volatile, meaning it's toxic as hell. So if you're looking into cannabis, don't protect your heart with that one, because that can go up and down. Another one is to look into the cloud industry or SaaS. So things such as Microsoft, Oracle, such as Salesforce, things like that. So those companies that are doing really good within those sectors, such as electric vehicles, cannabis, SaaS, anything that is kind of innovative, that's going to make the way of life that we have to go to, such as the AIs and things of that nature. That's the companies to look forward to and to actually invest in. So if you see a company that you want to invest in and you can't do that, the one way that you can do it is through fractional shares again. But if you want to look into another way to do it, is to look into ETFs, which is pretty much buying a lot of fractional shares of a lot of companies at one time for one price. So even if the company that you're interested in tanks that day, it's still going to give you some kind of return because you have other companies that actually blanket it. So again, those are the companies that I would look into.
What
Such
about
currencies.
cryptocurrency?
If you do invest into digital currency such as the Bitcoin, Lithium coin, and things like that, I will only suggest right now to look into investing. Only 1% of your portfolio should go into that. The reason why is because it's still relatively new, but compared to what it was doing a couple of years ago, when the big banks really wasn't touching it, a lot of the banks, such as the JP Morgan Chase, the Bank of Americas and things of that nature are starting to really get into Bitcoin. PayPal is really big into that to the point they actually take it now within firm of payment. Another one is what's that? Ethereum. That's like I said, I invest in cryptocurrency, but it's about how much are you going to invest? How much can you take if it does drop? And then what ways to buy it. And to give you a heads up, a lot of people, I remember you sent me a message about Coinbase. Coinbase is going public in the end of the month. So even if you're not into cryptocurrency and you see people are into cryptocurrency, a way to get into that is to go buy Coinbase whenever it does go public. For however much it goes, they are still making that target amount, but to invest in Coinbase. So even if you're not into cryptocurrency and you don't want to invest into it within their realms, you can look into ways of platforms and invest in that. That's a lesser risk, but whenever you invest in anything else, you're going to notice it's a risk in anything. It's a risk in being broke. So just saying. So that's one of the ways that you can buy into digital currency is to look into those companies that are big. You can't afford a $38,000 token, but you can still buy within Coinbase $10 worth of Bitcoin, $10 worth of Ripple, and things of that nature. So I would still look into it, but just don't allow your portfolio to be more than 1%. And hell, look into Coinbase whenever it goes public.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? No. The hell, I know a lot of people are saying they're not comfortable with buying Bitcoin. Buy the shit that sells the Bitcoin. So that's what I'm saying. If you are interested in buying Bitcoin, you don't want to buy Bitcoin, you don't want it to go down, buy Coinbase. Coinbase is worth $90 billion right now. So that's what I would do if it was an IPO. But if you have $10, put $10. You can even buy Bitcoin on Cash App. Just saying.
So, because I'm gonna wrap this up because we've been up here for almost an hour and a half.
Oh, I didn't know how long it was gonna be here.
Because nobody's asking questions, so we're just like
talking.
We don't know what else to tell y'all. Okay, we done told you a lot of stuff, and I'm recording, so hopefully you can go back and watch this and take more notes. But this is the time that you really should be sitting down and getting your stuff together. Like this pandemic has made us slow down for a reason, because you've seen things, or things have been pulled from under you. The curtain has been pulled back on a lot of things right now. On this healthcare, it's been pulled back on how your education system has been pulled back on your jobs and economy, how all of this shit works, all of this. And so you need to understand that just because you're sitting down does not mean you have to continue to sit still. You've had time to sit still. What do you think about creating an ebook?
I would.
You're knowledgeable about. Do it.
You can do an ebook in a day.
Part of the reason why I did the candle manifestation book and put it online, because why not? It's something that people always ask me about, but I taught the class for a reason.
Mhm.
You know, the people that took the class got the book and they can continue to use it.
Mhm.
What about having to create a whole business for it? If you're able to create the ebook,
You're
then
able
your business of creating ebooks for other people, if you got the ability to do it. Because people want nicely designed ebooks. They want the information that's easily digestible
Mhm.
and visually appealing.
Yep, and that's actually passive income. So you're making money after you made it. So you're
Yeah,
not just
so
making money one time, you're making it multiple times. So even if it takes you a couple hours to make it, you're gonna get paid off of it over and over and over again, as long as you market it the right way, or market it, period.
you can unmute your mic if you want to.
Wait,
You don't have to.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
nah.
Yeah. Okay. I get the whole thing about, creating the ebook and whatever, but
Mhm.
I'm like, how would you just put something that like a one-off out there without creating a whole brand behind it? Like, I don't want to create another business just to put that out there. I'm really lazy. And I just want to do that one thing and get that out there. But then I'm like, okay, so how do I build the know, like, trust factor if there's no brand behind it? You know what I mean?
That's gonna be tough.
Well, part of it is
Didn't want you to say that.
why should they listen to you?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Yeah.
the biggest question is, have you established yourself as someone who is knowledgeable in this field and built the credentials around yourself to be like, I can write an ebook and tell you how to do this because I've done this and I've been successful in doing it, and this is how you do it. Or I have a background in doing this, so I'm going to write all the steps you need to do that. That's establishing yourself as an authority.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you
and
want to do that?
a resource, huh?
Why she doesn't want to do that? Or create a whole business around it. Maybe it's an offset of the business that you currently have. So
Yeah. Okay.
right now, ebooks are pretty popular because
Yeah.
everybody doesn't want to buy a book. Just saying, even with people purchase or publishing books, they're publishing ebooks or Kindles. Just
Okay.
Because they don't want to, is lower overhead for them because they don't have to actually print it.
nope, they don't have to print it.
Print it. They don't have to ship it. They don't have to do anything, and it's digital, and people can take it with them wherever they go.
Yep, and you don't even have to use Kindle now to push a book. Just saying.
Okay. Okay.
Understand who your audience is and how you target them is the other thing. Maybe we'll do another live about business.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I've been seeing a lot with everyone springing up, which is beautiful. That
Oh, they
you
gonna
have
really
a lot
spring
of
up when the
budding
stimmy
entrepreneurs.
hit.
Yeah, everybody's is buzzing about. I'm starting I got an LLC. The new LLC community.
Don't come with an LLC
The
Twitter
new
now.
LLC community.
Burnt Nation Brunch Twitter. Okay.
LLCs, and everybody has an LLC, but ain't paying state taxes. But everybody got an LLC, ain't paid nan tax with their LLC, and don't know that they're supposed to pay taxes on these LLCs, but that's none of my business.
Yeah, they don't even have a business banking account. What are you talking
They
about?
don't, but everybody getting business banking accounts because they want these PPP loans. You know what? We ain't gonna talk about
is at a whole time high right now.
So yeah, maybe we'll talk about business and marketing and pushing your side hustle and how you have a good side hustle and how to work it. Because a lot of people have invested their time and their efforts because they were sitting down for so long. They needed something to do because they couldn't go outside. So now they took their hobbies and turned them into businesses, and they're running amok. Okay,
A lot of artists.
running a goddamn muck out here in these streets, not giving people their products, or
Oh, look.
these
I'm
just
not even gonna talk about that.
messed up policies. So
I just don't know what
we might go ahead and talk about that one day.
a lot of ideas don't know where to start.
Where you start is what
What?
can you actually do with a short amount of time and the least amount of resources.
Yep.
You know, you still have to work a full-time job. How much time do you have? How much time does it take for you to do what it is that you're doing? And do you have the resources to be able to provide constantly a constant flow to your customers?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you figure out where to start. Then, do you actually like getting up to do this every day? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I hate bagging teas. I hate bagging teas. I get my nephew to do it. I will pay my nephew to do it because it is very tedious bagging teas, but I love putting together the blend. It's just bagging them individually. My teas are bagged by hand.
And also within a lot of people, I'm just speaking from what I'm seeing, is that people don't create a standard operating process when they build a business. It's that what does it take for your business to actually run? So taking analysis of our audit of what does it take for you to actually make this product or do this service, and documenting it and actually knowing how much it costs, because a lot of people will go invest in Dubsado and all this shit are systems that they sell you, but you don't know what the process is to do it, and you're not even making enough money to pay for that system. You're pretty much leaving yourself in the red. And I mean, I talk about myself a lot because it pretty much don't take a lot for me to run this. But it's because I know exactly within my SOP, what does it take for me to run my business? What does it cost me to run my business? And what systems can I put in place? So like what Toya was saying, with her bag and her teas, she knows she doesn't like to do that. So what does she do? Delegate that shit over to pay the man. So how much does that cost for you to pay the man? But it's getting out.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I have expenses that I don't know because they vary, right? Mm-hmm. So because I have multiple suppliers of herbs, they vary. Each supplier is different. And with the pandemic and more people getting into herbs, the costs have increased.
Exactly.
So that has meant for me that I have to try to figure out, do I raise my prices?
Right.
Also, when the pandemic first hit, everybody was making their own hand sanitizer and soap, which meant that many of the wholesalers that I purchased my containers from were sold out because now everybody's hustling, right? Mm-hmm. But I actually do this as a regular ass business. So I don't always, my stuff is booming as well because I sell things regarding your health. Therefore, I go to my typical wholesalers, which I have 3 or 4 that I typically deal with. Everybody's sold out and they're on back order. Why? The other thing was everybody orders from China. All of these wholesalers order from China. And guess what? China was on lockdown. So that presented a problem for me. So that creative juices had to flow. Well, how else can I get this stuff out here? How else can I still serve my customers? So that requires you to think outside of the box and have multiple ways of getting your product out and packaging your product. And it's going to change the cost of some of your items sometimes. So my stuff is really sort of on a sliding scale. I have a range of prices. I don't have a set price for how much I might have to pay for something. I have a range of prices. a high end and on a low end.
Yeah.
So you have to think about those things because everybody started boutiques, but you're getting the clothes from the same place, but everybody's starting boutiques because everybody done bought these ebooks with the boutique manufacturers and y'all getting them from the same place and charging an arm and
Industry
leg.
is really saturated right now.
Very much. Everybody has a boutique. But here's what I am going to say to you.
I know where you're going.
There are 1 billion brands of bread on the shelf, and everybody still buys them.
Hey.
Get in where you fit in. It does not matter if someone is doing the same thing as you.
Nope.
Just do what you do well.
Nope.
Have a great customer service. Have great presentation. People are still going to pay for it. If you have, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you have very good customer service, you have a solid product, people will still pay for it. Some people buy shit just because it looks good.
It pays to be you. And that's one of the things that I thought about when I started my business, and which technically fell into my lap, was the fact that I talk the way I talk, and me talking the way I talk, cussing and stuff and shit like that. Here we go. Is what sets me apart. I don't have to change my words to fit in. And the first time that I started my business, I tried to shift myself into what I wasn't. And even if stuff is saturated, I'm noticing now people are starting to talk like what I talk like, but just fine. But it's also too, though, it's 1,000 bread on the shelf, but guess what? People eat bread. Oprah loves bread.
Everybody. And somebody might not have, you might sell the same thing as somebody else. If they sold out, they got to get it from somewhere. Get in where you fit in.
What kind of business do I have? I coach on money, but I also am a content creator for finances, as well as helping people with market their business too. Yeah.
She does it all. So if you want to book a session with Nadia to get your money together, she does that. She has a whole website. Put it in the comments. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
also getting ready to start pushing the idea to income, because a lot of people right now in the middle of this pandemic are panini. They're starting these businesses and stuff like that, and they need to formulate their business to actually create their brand. But yeah, that's what I do.
But I'm telling y'all, it's just, and don't ever feel like you're competing with somebody.
Oh, child, you talking to me?
Don't ever feel like, because everybody's doing the same thing, but be you. Just like there are 1,001 tarot readers now. Everybody reads tarot
on YouTube.
On YouTube, everybody's a tarot reader. And I tell y'all all the time, just because they read cards, that don't mean they apply to you, and don't mean that they know what the fuck they're talking about.
Seriously.
Okay? Because I know people that they just picked up a deck of cards and they started reading, but they don't have an actual spiritual connection. They just know how to read cards. Okay? So I tell you all the time, be careful, because if they can't give you advice after they read your cards, baby, it might not be for you. All right? I ain't gonna shade nobody.
That's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
That's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. That's it. Everybody's got it to do something, but it's okay. Do what you are comfortable with doing, and that you know that you can do, and that you have the ability to do. Work within your abilities. And as your abilities grow, so does your business.
And then don't always be afraid to, and this is one of the questions that I answered to somebody today, is that whenever you start your business with something, you're going to have to grow it eventually, or scale. Everyone loves to say the word scale, but actually knowing your business, what does it take to run your business? What income streams do you have within your business? It will allow you to scale it. So if you have a community of people, I had to take a step back to say, oh shit, whenever the whole public thing came, because now people were coming from different places but it was just still, how do I scale my business? And don't be afraid to take a pause in your business if you have to scale. So you can actually scale the right way, because a lot of people try to scale fast and furious and don't know what the hell they're doing. And then they are noticing that when their business gets too big for them and they don't have any systems in place to delegate or anything like that, that the shit goes off the rails.
Do you help out of USA? Do you help out of, girl, turn that damn mic on, because I'm reading like I'm illiterate. Turn that shit on and say what you need to say. Look, come on. That's why we here. Do we help out in USA? Go ahead.
Yes, meaning because I don't live in the USA, I live in the Caribbean. So like, because I have different ideas in my head, but to start, it's a little bit like where to go, what to do, if it need a plan or not, because some businesses you just have to just get it out there, and marketing is the best. So if I will need help and think if it's going to help, if you can help me without having to be in the USA, without.
Oh, that's your question. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She's international.
I am.
That's what she is.
But even if you build you just throw it out there and then you have to bring it back and build it, it's fine, because I had to do the same thing. I just pretty much, we both did that. We pretty much just threw business out and brought it back in.
Here's the thing. You act out of fear. Okay? We're so fearful that our business won't be successful. We don't know enough. We're not going to be able to compete. So many other people are doing it. Nobody's going to buy our stuff. We have all of these fears to the point where our fears keep us stuck and still.
Yep.
The only way that you get unstuck is to jump and let whatever happened.
Yes, ma'am.
And you troubleshoot from that point on. Just put it out there and move. Because once you get moving, you know where to go then. But if you're stuck there wondering all these things, you can't navigate in one fucking place.
Analysis paralysis, child.
Jump, and the net will come. You'll be fine. Just do it. My packaging is still fucked up, but you know what? Them products out there.
And her products are great.
I bet you won't give a fuck about that packaging.
I need some face wash.
Look pretty, but it ain't right now. All I'm focused on is making sure that one, it heals your body. It does what it says it's going to do. And two, it gets to you on time. You get what you asked for. That's all I care about.
Pretty much.
I want it to be pretty though. Because then you will be like, yeah, this is my Yankin Glow. Meanwhile, people be like, oh, I got my Yankin Glow tea. And I done printed y'all fucking labels at work. But you know what? We don't care. We don't care about that. You got it. You got it safe. You got all of your stuff. What's your label printed at my job? Thank you. Thank you. That is what's called a return on my investment. When I invest my time there and y'all waste my time because you ain't doing what I want to do at work. So thank you. That's a return on my investment on my time. See how that
works? Without any kind of process or anything like that. Now it's a whole daggone onboarding process for even with clients that I do one-offs with. So it's all about throwing the shit out there, seeing what sticks, and then reeling that shit back in to know what process, working your way backwards to know what actually aligns. And what now that you know it, you do what you do, rather if it's successful or you don't think it's not successful, you're able to build that process and systems back in while you're actually building backwards.
And I'm gonna tell y'all this too. It's like, if you're making things, I'm gonna be honest, my products, like my teas, some of that stuff, I've had to redo over time. So recipe, technique, all of that sometimes has changed because my teas, for one, I never really wrote down any of my recipes. I never wrote down measurements, none of that. I just did it. I got in there, I listened, and I did it. They said a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I put it in there, bam, got what I got, right? Cool. Now I'm at a point where I was like, oh shit, this is actually really, really good. What did I do? How much did I use? I don't know. So I had to go back and redo my recipes. Redo and write down what I actually put in these teas. And sometimes with my teas, I literally just stand in front of my herbs. I pray about it. Whoever I'm trying to heal somebody, Lord, just show me what it is that I need to give to these people. And I just start picking up things. So I don't necessarily always know what exactly I've done until later. Sometimes you just have to go and do it. And then you go back and say, okay, this is what I did. This is how much I put in there. This is what at that point. So it's hot in here, y'all. But understand sometimes you just have to jump because your fear will keep you stuck. And you don't operate in fear. Don't operate in fear. Just trust. Trust yourself. You've been given an idea for a reason. Operate in that sense that I've been given this idea for a reason. It's on my heart for a reason. What am I supposed to do? And pray about the help that you're supposed to receive. Okay, you've given me this idea. Please provide me resources. Please provide me more guidance. Kim, you tasting stuff.
What's she gonna
So y'all was hungry. So I'm just saying it's okay not to know. It's okay to be unsure. It's okay to do something that somebody else is doing. Do your shit a little different. Do it better. Do it where it fits to you. You are your brand. You are your representation. As you can see, when I talk to people, I might not be the person you want for guidance. I have a sharp tongue and I realize that, but I still have good intentions.
Your intention.
I don't say it with malice. I say it to help you because a lot of people do it so you can continue to come back and continue to be, fed bullshit so they can continue to siphon your money. I'm not here for that. I'm going to tell you good and one time. This ain't the shit for you. Go back to the drawing board. Here's how you do it. And you might be mad at that moment, but you'll appreciate the shit later because you only had to pay me once and not come back and ask a whole bunch of questions because I didn't tell you enough the first time. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know so you can move on about your life and leave me alone. And come back and let me know how everything worked out so we can troubleshoot along the way if you need help. That's it. But you have to be able to get out your own way. Don't be scared and don't get stuck.
And don't think that you got to have all the money that you need to have to do stuff too.
And resources. You don't need to know everything.
No, you don't. You can scale, like I love to say, scale. It takes this how much it takes for you to do this. This how much it takes. Do you save? You're getting some of your stemming. Save some of that for either your bills or for your business. You know how much it costs for you to do this and costs to do that. You do what you can with what you can. And then you align with what you can do.
Should you have an account for a fund or for an account separate than your main account?
Yep.
For anything else, such as hobbies, travel,
you should.
hard times.
You should put pockets of your the whole pockets of your money. So you know you have for bills, you know you have for build, which is if you need to save your money for your lifestyle or goal that you have. If you want to save your money for your business or for your hobbies or something that you're scaling towards until you get that business bank account, yes, having an account for that and having an account if you know that you love sneakers or you love buying certain stuff, that's what you have. And so having those different categories or pockets with accounts separated now. So you don't have all your bills coming out of one account. You have a savings account for now and later, as well as for your business. Those could be high yield savings accounts. So I really gonna attest to say don't do regular savings accounts unless you have shit happens. You have the and you need the money right then. But then I also will have other accounts, rather they're checking or savings for other stuff that you do, such as your lifestyle, such as your blowing and thing like that. So if you know that you love to eat out, don't have your bill money coming, your food coming from your bill money. Separate that thing because you're actually giving that account and that what's in that pocket a job. So you should always give your dollar a job and a directive for what you want it to do. Do you want it to multiply? That's what you are doing. So that's what I would say.
There you go. All right, guys. It is 8:52.
Do that with your STEMI too.
Yes, with your STEMI. Any other questions before we wrap this up? I thank you all for participating and watching, and hopefully this was recorded. So if you watch this after, you can go to Nadia's website, which is
NadiaCVanderhall.com, which would, yeah, it shows you everything.
NadiaCVanderhall.com is her website.
Yes.
Make sure you're visiting and following her on social media, which is
Envy Knows or The Brands and Bands. Is pretty much either or.
All right. And make sure that you're following her. If you want to book with her, she does have booking available, services available for whatever it is you need. Don't forget melaninatedmedicinewoman.com.
Oh, you have a money sale too, don't you? On money products.
Yes, on money products on the website right now, as well as money and career readings are also on sale. So, book and buy whatever you need. This Money March, I'm gonna try to come back with Sister Vita so she can come and talk about your jobs. Okay. What to do at work, human resources stuff, how to fix your resume, make yourself more attractive to employers, and talk about issues at work surrounding yourself at work. Again, things around money for Money March. Plus, it's Women's History Month, so why the fuck not, right? So hopefully I can get Vita to jump on with us maybe next week. Same time, same place. I don't know. Thursday. Today is Money Thursday, so make sure you do a money bath tonight or do a money candle or something dealing with money. You don't have herbs, you can use cinnamon, ginger are both good for money. Bay leaves are good for money. You can burn them, put a little bit in a pot and make a bath and say your intentions, what you want it to do. Rosemary, mint as well are good for money. Or if you just use Italian seasoning that has everything in it already, good for money. But yeah, I thank y'all. And I will check with you guys later. Hopefully this was recorded and saving. So you can go back and watch it and get whatever tips I had if you missed the first part and came in late. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.